Things to help with the deadlift. I feel this on my back. Where am I supposed to feel this at? Why is my back hurting? When we're getting into patterns of any kind of deadlifting patterns, we have to remember it's always a hinge exercise. And it's hard when we have variations where we're split, we have one thing here, we have a band on our hips. There's all these distractions globally, not internally focused, right? So, two things I want you to think about. When you're in your single leg stance, right? My hips are behind me, right? And then my hips come forward. When I'm on narrow stance, my hips go behind me, my hips go forward. That's the goal of both exercises. Hips back, hips forward. The other stuff is just changing the stimulus. So, 2 points during these deadlifts. 1, these are not the goal. Wherever these go up and down in space have nothing to do with the completion of the exercise, right? So if they go down this far to this up, that's fantastic. If I have the mobility, right? If I can, that's how far as I can go and come back up, that's great. If they're bigger bells and they touch the ground because the bells are actually bigger, then great. But that's not the goal, right? Second thing that's not the goal is my chest is not the goal when I'm deadlifting. If my chest falls or rises is not the goal. My hips going behind me and my hips coming forward are the goal. So if it's a load, right, that I cannot distinguish hip from the bells or from my chest, I have too much load, I need to get rid of it so that I can focus on hip forward, hip back. Okay, so do not make the bells the goal. Secondly, when you're in the band doing the hip lifts, if this band is 70 pounds and I cannot get my hips all the way forward like it feels during the warm-up, right? That's how it should feel. When you're laying on your stomach on the warm-up and you kick back and you feel that glute, that's what the top of the deadlift should feel like. You should feel that glute is locked in, okay? If you feel it in your back, it's because you are squeezing the back to make a global goal, not to make an internal goal of hips forward, right? So if 70 pounds doesn't allow me to get there, I need a lighter band, a blue or a red band, so that I can get there, right? Or if the weight is too much of a distraction and I want to use the band by itself, and that's the action I have is resisting against this band like a hip lift, then I'll just use the band, right? These and these are tools to create intensity, which means that we can modify the tools to match the intensity and the skill of the exercise. 2 points. Where the bells go does not matter. Where my chest goes does not matter. I'm seeing a lot of hinging, and then compensating, and hinging, and compensating. So a lot of people are getting to this point, and instead of hitting glutes through, right, they're thinking I better stand tall, and they're making action happen through the lower back. Because if I raise my chest up, I have to squeeze my lower back. Good, so you can see how I am rotating through my upper back to make either chest up or chest down, though my hip's not doing anything. If I lock all this in into one plank, and I just move my hips, my chest going up and down is a result of my hip moving forward and back. My chest moving up and down is not the goal. So if I repeated myself over and over and over again, it's not where the chest goes, it's not where the bells goes, it's where my hips go. Can my hips go back? Can I still see the logo of my shirt in that pretend mirror? I would see the logo, Okay, if I lose that logo, I've probably gone too far, right? I can see the logo, okay? But I'm thinking, all right, my hips go back. Am I done with my hips going back? Do I feel like I can't go any farther? Does my hamstrings feel tight? Good. I stand up with the glutes. Not, I need to go as far as I can and then stand up with the glutes, okay? So, don't worry about the bells and don't think about is my chest rising or falling. Think hips back till I feel like I'm pushing my ass out, right? And then am I squeezing my glutes? Think about bringing your glutes together to move my hips forward. Okay, so I'm closing the glute doors to move my hips forward. Imagination station, think about it. You know you're doing it right now. You could actually do that right now. Stand up, close the doors. Oh, there we go, okay? That's what it should feel like in your deadlift. Secondly, thirdly, fourthly, whatever it is. Hey, when you use your abs, you use them the whole time, right? So if I feel like, oh, there's my abs, I'm not gonna let go of them the whole time. You know, in the hollow position in the warm-up, you feel your abs locking on. Lock your abs on before you lift, and don't unlock the abs until the weights are out of your hands. Almost like we put a single leg hip extension and an ab exercise in the warm-up so we could be better prepared for the exercises we use later on in the session.